best. But I'm out of time. This is all I can be.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
The show starts off with Kosei, a pianist, and his friends Ryota and Tsubaki. And Kosei is a piano prodigy, and he learned everything from his mother, but her methods of teaching may have been a bit extreme. We also see that his mother passed away, and after her death, Kosei wasn't able to perform anymore. Kosei says that he hates the piano, but clings to it due to his mother's memory. Kosei is then invited to be like a fourth wheel, and here he meets Kaori, and it's a love at first sight, but she is Ryota's date. And she is at the town hall for a violinist competition. At the town hall, Kosei is recognized by many because he's the GOAT. Kaori is the fourth performer, and she blows away the audience and gets a whole standing ovation. We then see that Kosei is love-struck, and he's struggling with his feelings as he likes Kaori, but she's with Ryota. And although Kaori passes the prelims, and the next day, since Ryota was busy, Kosei is acting as the stand-in. And these two basically go on a date. She then forces Kosei to perform, but due to his trauma, he stops midway. These two then bond in a park, and Kosei reveals that he can't hear any of the notes he plays once he gets into it. And because the way Kaori performs, the pianist with her abandons her, so she asks Kosei to be her accompanist. And after enough annoyance by Tsubaki and her, he agrees. And these two aren't coming from a bad place, especially Tsubaki, and she just wants Kosei to quit on his own terms. After that, it's a time for the competition, and they're running late, but they make it just in time. Kosei is hella nervous, but Kaori keeps him from breaking down. And then they're called up to play, and they start off really good, but Kosei's trauma acts up, and he ends up stopping midway. So Kaori's performance won't be affected too negatively. Kaori also stops and restarts, giving Kosei the push he needed, and the two are able to deliver a banger performance, and they get a standing ovation again. After this, Kaori passes out, and at the hospital we learn that she's a little anemic, and she passed out because she worked a little too hard. Also, the two got disqualified because they kept stopping, and Kosei feels super guilty about it. And switching over to Tsubaki, we see that she's feeling off about how Kosei looks like Kaori. Also, she meets someone while she's walking home, and he confesses to her, but for now she doesn't say anything. Kaori is then released, and after her and Kosei meet up, she convinces him to join a piano competition, and the two bond by jumping in the river. Kosei then takes Kaori to his home so they can dry off, and Tsubaki sees the two together, and since she can't get with Kosei, she agrees to go out with this guy Saito, and he's the one that confessed to her. Kosei then hears himself play, and he wants to drop out, but Kaori already sent in an application for him, so he then starts spending some time figuring out how he wants to play the piece. Kaori also helps him practice. The two then go to watch Tsubaki play, and this trips her out, leading to an injury and a loss, meaning her team is disqualified. Kosei then carries a grieving Tsubaki home. Ryota also messes up his game, and this leads to him breaking down as well, and Kosei is stressing about his own competition, and during PE, he passes out from exhaustion. He then walks home with Kaori, and he has another panic attack, but she helps him through it. Kosei then reveals that he once owned a black cat, and his mom abandoned the cat after it bit him, and he feels like if he said something back then, she wouldn't have. And he also mentions that he feels like he's always in his mom's shadow. The next day, when he's at the town hall, he runs into fellow prodigies Takeshi and Emi, and they've been hating on him since day one. The competition then begins, and we see Kosei start to down himself, but Kaori's words help him. And we also see that Takeshi is a professional hater, as he chose playing against Kosei over going international, but he is a good performer, and he gets an ovation from the crowd, and also a compliment from the GOAT. Emi then plays, and she also delivers a fine performance, getting an ovation as well. And as much as these three are haters, they just want to be better than Kosei, and we see that these three have been like the top three for like their entire career. After Emi's performance, she pulled up on Kosei, but she did enough talking with her piano. Kosei then steps up to play, and he's looking snazzy. We also get more flashbacks, and we see that Kosei played the piano as he thought it would cure his mother's disease, and that she was low-key abusive as hell. And one day, after like a severe beating, he wished that she was dead, but he regrets saying that after she passed away. We then switch back to the performance, and he's once again unable to hear the notes. He stops playing once again, but the thought of Kaori inspired him to retry, and this time he gives a banger performance that resonates with the audience, leaving them in awe before they give him a scattered applause. But his music reached the one person it needed to. After this, he runs into a Miss Seto, and she's also a renowned pianist and a close friend of his mother's, and she's also the one that told his mom that he should be a pianist. She also notes that his performance was out of love, but he did still stop, so he didn't make the cut. He still gets his frustration out by running and yelling at a train. Miss Seto then goes to Kosei's house, and she notices that he's played the piano the entire night, and he does tell her that he plays for Kaori, after which she offers to be his teacher, and he agrees to that. Kaori then reveals that she's invited to play at a competition, and Kosei will be her accompanist once again. And that night, they two go to a firefly field, and Kosei tells Kaori that that she inspires him and that he plays for her. Kosei disagrees with Kaori's choice for the set because this song reminds him of his mother and he kind of struggles to play, so Miss Seto takes him to a festival and she tells him to focus more on the piano than on his dead mother. And one night while they're practicing late, he drops Kaori home and he meets her whole family and they're in a pastry shop and they're also fans of Kosei. And the two really do struggle to play together, and so they continue like goofing off and they play with fireworks with their friends as a way of relaxing. And during this, Kosei falls in the pool and he remembers Miss Seto's advice to play with his heart, not his ears, after which he's saved. And on the day of the competition, Kaori is nowhere to be seen. Kosei takes the stage alone for a piece that should be done by two. He starts playing with frustration, but after thinking about how his mother would have played it, he starts to play with his heart and delivers a beautiful performance. During the performance, he realized that the malicious ghost of his mother that haunted all of his performances was just a figment of his imagination, and this act was actually a final goodbye to his mother. After finishing his set, he talks with Miss Seto and breaks down, hoping that his performance reached his mother. And his mother wasn't a bad person. I mean, yeah, she was really extreme and abusive, but she only forced him to play because she knows she didn't have much time left in the world, and she wanted to leave him with a way to make money. And the next day, we learned that Kaori was a no-show because she was at the hospital. Kaori acts cheerful towards her friends, but we, the audience, can see that she's severely sick. And also with Tsubaki, she's with Saito, but she still clearly has feelings for Kosei. And Kosei continues to visit Kaori, and he realizes that she picked the song just for him. He is then tricked into seeing Tsubaki at the beach, and he tells her that he might have to move for music school. And after that, she runs away crying, and she kind of realizes that she does have feelings for him. Tsubaki is conflicted over her feelings for Kosei, and Saito breaking up with her because she can't stop talking about Kosei doesn't help. And that night, Kosei comforts her by playing the piano for her and listening to her talk, even saying that he plans to stay with her. Also, we then see Kosei trying to think of a reason to visit Kaori, and here he runs into a girl, and her name is Nagi, and she's actually Takashi's younger sister. And after performing at Miss Seto's house, she is put under Kosei's tutelage. He then goes to visit Kaori, and he hears Ryota talking to her, so he leaves. She then calls him and tells him to bring some sweets from her dad's shop, which he agrees to. And in the hospital, we see that her condition is getting worse, and she's at a point where she can't even move her legs. We then switch back over to Kosei, and he's dissing Nagi's technique, and Miss Seto warns her not to mess with my golden prince. The next day, while Kosei is going home, he runs into Kaori, and she takes him shopping, and since she's in uniform and doesn't have her bag, they go back to her school, where she reveals that she lied, and she just wanted to visit the school. After which, Kosei takes a weeping Kaori home. The next day, Nagi is mad because she's stupid, and Kosei has to chase her down, and she admits that she's chasing after her brother, while Kosei admits to her that he's chasing after his friend's girl. The group then visit Kaori, and after finding out about Kosei and Nagi, she goes off on him for wasting time with tutoring. When Kosei later visits her alone, she asks him to commit suicide with her, and even though he thinks it's a joke, it makes him hella depressed, which makes Tsubaki worry about him. He's unable to focus on piano either, and Nagi tries to comfort him. Ryota then once again convinces Kosei to visit Kaori. Kaori then tells him to forget about her, after which he storms out. And then he goes over to Nagi and asks her if he can perform with her at a musical festival. And these two start preparing. And Nagi was a mess before her performance, but Miss Sato and Kosei were able to calm her down. And this performance is Kosei's way of reaching out to Kaori. The two then take the stage and they bless the audience's ears, and their performances reaches the person they wanted it to, and Kaori's passion for music reigniting, with Kosei after asking Kaori to perform with him once again. To do this, Kaori agrees to go through a risky surgery, and Kosei accompanies Kaori's parents as they watch her rehabilitation, with her parents thanking him for giving Kaori the motivation to keep going. Tsubaki also helps Kosei by bringing him food, as she knows that he's been practicing hard, and even at the competition, Kosei shares food with his rivals, and the three bond. Takashi then takes the stage and of course gives a fire performance, after which he realized that Kosei is more than a rival, but a hero to him. The next day, Ryota takes Kosei with him to the hospital, and Kosei just third wheels, and later when him and Tsubaki hang out, she tells him that since Kaori loves Ryota, he should just love Tsubaki, after which she runs away. This messes with Kosei once again, and he's struggling to lock in, and Kaori also calls him and tells him that he doesn't have to visit her anymore, but he tells her he still wants to. The next time him and Ryota visit, he first confesses to Ryota that he has feelings for Kaori, and the two witness her go into cardiac arrest. And after leaving the hospital, he sees a cat get hit by a car, and he is unable to get the cat to the vet in time, and the cat passes away. Then at a park, while he's watching his hands, Kosei thinks of all that happened, and he has a breakdown. Miss Seto then finds Kosei, and he's in a deep depression, and after everything, he forsakes the piano once more. He then gets a letter from Kaori asking him to visit her, and he does, and the two go to the roof during a snowstorm, and he tells her that he quit because music reminds him of too many bad memories. But Kaori telling him that he helped her and gave her the motivation to keep going brings him out of this. And after this, she collapses and breaks down saying that she wants Kosei to stay with her. And this messes with Kosei because his performance is at the same time as her surgery. Kosei then gets on stage and he breaks down, but remembering all the other people that have supported him gives him the motivation to start playing, and he gives a fire performance. And he imagines Kaori performing with him, and in his imagination, Kaori starts to slowly fade, and he realizes that the surgery was not successful, and he ends his performance in tears. After Kaori's funeral, Kosei gets a letter from her, and he learns that she has been sick since she was younger, and knew that she didn't have much time, and also that she's been following Kosei since they were younger. She also admits to Kosei that she actually didn't like Ryota, but she actually loved him. We then see Kosei talk to an imagination of Kaori, and he promises to remember and think about her from time to time. We then switch over to Tsubaki, and she's worried about Kosei. She then goes over to comfort him, and the show started with Kosei meeting Kaori in the spring, and it ends in a springtime without her.